Okay, we can begin now.
Yes,
Um,
please.
yeah, so we finished with this problem last time. Um, so we can start with problem 29. So express 36 as a product of primes.
Okay. What's that? C. C. No, no, no. No. B. B.
Mm, yeah,
Kevin B.
so if you said B,
B.
then yeah, that is correct because we're looking at, yeah, prime numbers. So prime numbers only have two factors, one and itself. So for example, prime numbers are 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, and so on. So for example, 2 has 1 times 2. Three's factor is only 1 times
Answer.
3. And 1 is not a prime number. So when we want to write a number as a product of prime numbers, we start by dividing by the smallest prime numbers. So we first divide 36 by 2. So that's what we did here. 36 divided by 2. So you get 18. So 36 equals 2 times 18. We can divide 18 by 2 again. So it is 2 times 2 times 9. We can divide 9 by 3 because 2 doesn't work now. You cannot divide 9 by 2. So you divide 9 by 3 and you get 2 times 2 times 9, which is 3 times 3. That's why we got this answer B here. There are 2 times 2 and 3 times 3. Yeah, great job in answering this question. Um,
Right. Number C.
okay. Yeah, if everyone is finished, then we can move on to the next slide. Okay. So there are points M, which is 1, comma 3, and point N, 4, comma 5. Here in the number plane. It says to find the vector M to N. So a vector Mn means we move from this point M to point N. So if we subtract, yeah, M from N, what do we get?
A. A.
Yeah, that's right. The answer here is A. It's 3, 2. You can write this as this form here as well, 3, comma 2, or 3, 2, like this here. And that's because we move 3 across from M and then 2 to the top from M to get N. So the vector pointing from M to N is 3, 2, like this. So yeah, the answer here is A. Always remember that the change of X, the horizontal, goes first, 3 here, and then the vertical goes second, like this. And you have to subtract N, M from N. So it is N minus M. That's how you get this answer here. Okay, does everyone understand how to find a
Yes.
vector? Okay, then I can move on to the next question if everyone is finished. Mm, okay. Question 31. Anoa scored an average of 53 in science and mathematics. If she scored 50 and 60 in English language and social studies, respectively, find her mean score in all the four subjects. Yeah, we're finding the mean score of all the four. And remember that the mean is the sum of the numbers divided by the number of items.
Daniel.
Yeah, so the sum
One.
of the numbers here, we're finding this, the total. So the total is the sum of the scores of science, mathematics, English, and social studies. So what will be the sum of the numbers? It'll be 53 and 53 because Anoa had an average of 53 in science and mathematics. So we can add 253 together. So 53 plus 53 plus English, she had score 50. And in social studies, she scored a score of 60. So we add these numbers together and we get this. So yeah, the total score for science and mathematics is 53 plus 53 or 53 times 2, which is 106. and you add the score for English, 50, score for social science, just 60. So 106 plus 50 plus 60 is 216. So the mean score, you have to divide by the total number of values, which is 4. There are 4 subjects. So you divide by 4 and you get the score of 54, sorry. The mean score is 54.
Okay.
Yeah, is this clear to everyone? Do you have any questions about this? No? Okay. Yeah, I think the
Yeah,
main, okay. So we can move on if everyone
yes.
understands. Yeah. So 32. Given that P, the set P equals 4, 8, 12, 16, and 20, and set Q equals 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, can you find the product of the numbers P intersection Q? So this means P intersection Q, and the intersection of two sets is the set of elements that are common to both sets.
D.
Yeah, did you say
Maybe
D?
D.
D? Yeah, that's right. Good job. So P intersection Q, you can see there are two numbers, 4 and 8. Yeah, so we take out. We can notice here too, in the set P, only 4 and 8 intersect. The rest of the numbers are not the same. So P has 12, 16, and 20, which Q doesn't have. Q has 2, 6, and 10. So only 4 and 8 intersect, and you multiply, you find the product, and you get 32. Yeah, great job. There is the. Yeah, we can move on to the next question. Let's look at problem 33. A rectangular container with dimensions 5 meters by 3 meters by 4 meters has 2/3 full of water. Find the volume occupied by the water in the container. Yeah, so the water volume is 2/3 of the container. And so we find the volume of the container first, and then take 2/3 of it. So the volume, we're finding volume multiplied by 2/3. Yeah, and how do we find the volume for this cuboid or this rectangular container? We multiply by the dimensions, right? 4 times 5 times 3. And that's how you find the volume. Yeah, the container
C, C,
volume, you say B or
C,
C. Yeah, let's see. Let's see if it's B or C
B, B,
or
B,
D.
B.
Oh, B. Yeah, great job. If you said B, then yeah, that's correct. Because the volume is 5 times 4 times 3, which is 60. And 60 times 2 over 3 equals 20 times 2, which is 40. So that's why the answer is B. So we can look here. It is the same explanation is shown. So volume of the container is 5 times 3 times 4 meters, which is 60 cubic meters. And then you find the volume of the water, which is 2/3 of the container volume. So 2/3, 2 over 3 times 60, which is 40. Yeah, great job. And B is the answer. Does everyone understand how to solve this problem? Yeah, does anyone have questions about this question, about this problem? Um, no, then yeah, we can move on. If everyone is finished.
Yes.
Oh,
Definitely.
okay. Let's solve this problem. 34. Find the gradient of the line which passes through the points 2, comma 3 and -4, comma 5. So gradient means just the slope. Gradient equals the slope of the line and how steep the line is from the point -4, 5 to 2, 3. So can you find the gradient, which is the change in y divided by change in x?
Maybe no.
Oh, yeah, I can explain. If okay. So we're finding the change in y. So we subtract 3, this point here, y value of this point, from the y value of this point. So it is 3 minus 5, which is -2, right? -2. That's the change in y. So here you can see this point moved 2 points down, 2 blocks down. This is -2. That's the change in y. How about the change in x? So we had 2, this point, minus -4. This becomes 2 plus 4, which is 6. So you can see it moved 6 tiles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is plus 6. That is the change in x. And you find the slope, which is change in y divided by change in x. So -2 over 6. And what is that? This is -1 over 3. -1 over 3.
D. Yeah, D.
Oh, yeah. If you've understood, let me ask you just another question. So, can you find the slope from let's say here? What is the gradient of the line which passes through this new points here? So let's call this negative 3 comma 1, 2, 2 comma 3. Can anyone find?
David, you
Yes.
can't see your writing.
Can you see this point here? Negative 3 comma 1 passing through 2 comma 3. Yeah. Can you find the gradient between those
Yes.
points? Yeah.
David, 2 by 5.
Oh, yeah, great job. Yeah, that's right. It's 2 over 5. Yeah, that's right. So you can see that the change of x is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Moves 5 to the right. Or you can find this by, here we have value of 2. So it is 2 minus negative 3, which equals positive 5. That's the change in x. What about the change in y? It moves up 2, right? Moves up 2. So we find 3 minus 1, which equals 2, positive 2. And the gradient is the change of y over change of x, so it's 2 over 5. Yeah, great job in answering this question. And if everyone understands this topic, we can move on. But do you have any questions about finding the gradient?
No.
If not, yeah, we can proceed to the next question. Okay. Mr. Adu bought 400 bags of maize for his farm animals. If he used 120 bags to feed the animals, find the percentage of the maize left. Yeah, so we're
David,
finding,
A.
did you say A
A.
or
No?
yeah, we can try this together. I'm getting maybe A or C or I think I heard B maybe. Okay, let's try to find this. So we're finding the percentage of the maize left. What is left? What is left is 400 minus 120, which is 280 maize bags left. And you're finding the percentage of the maize left. So the ratio is the percentage is 280 over 400. So let's find this together. I'm going to click on the next portion. So here, instead, we look at the percentage of the used maize, so we can find it this way too. So it is 120 over 400 is the amount of used bags percentage. And percentage, you have to multiply by 100 at the end. So what is 200, 120 divided by 400? So you can cancel out the 0 here, or more simply, you can just multiply 100 and cancel out by the 4 at the bottom. So we get 420 over 4, which is 30%. So the used maize is 30% out of the whole bag. So the percentage of left maize is we start it from 100% and subtract 30% to get 70%. So you can find also, this is just one way of finding the percentage of the left maize. Another way of finding the percentage is to do what I did before, which is find the left amount of maize. The left amount of maize is 400 minus 120, which equals 280. And you're finding 280 divided by 400 multiplied by 100. Because this is percentage. You have to multiply by 100 at the end. So we can see that this part cancels. And this equals 280 divided by 4, which equals 70. We got the same answer, right? We get the same amount of percentage by subtracting the number of maize first, and then finding the percentage. And we also get the same answer by finding the percentage of used maize and subtracting from 100%. So either way works, but the important part of this question is finding what the percentage is. Yeah. Percentage is multiplying by 100 by the ratio. And ratio means the number, the number of maize that you have divided by the total number. So does everyone understand how to solve this question? Yeah, feel free to ask me any questions if you have.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, this is a simple problem. Problem 36. Find the largest value of these numbers.
Hey.
Yeah, that's right. The answer is A. Yeah, it's 0 because all of these are negative numbers. -1, -6, -3. And the larger the negative number, the smaller that number is. And 0 is the largest out of all these. Okay, let's move on to the next question. How long will the simple interest on 550 Ghana cedis be at 12% per annum? B, 132 Ghana cedis. So this problem is about finding the simple interest.
Right.
Yeah. So simple interest is calculated by this. P multiplied by R multiplied by T. So P is the principal, the amount of money that we had. We had 550 Ghana cedis, right? Yeah, that's P. The rate, the interest rates per year is 12%, right? Or you can enter this as a rate. So you're not writing as a percentage, but you're writing as a decimal. 12% equals, so 12% equals 0.12, right? That's going to be our rate. And now we're finding t. We don't know what t is because we're finding how long will the simple interest be? 132. So simple interest, the total will be 132. So this is how we solve this. Simple interest is 132, and that equals the principal times the rate times the time. So 132 equals 550 times 0.12 times the time. And can you find the time from here? How many years will it take?
Hey. Mchana mchana. Si mchana mchana uko sana uko sana. I didn't say be unlimited. Who is that Jaden? I think it's not someone. Okay, make sense. The answer is
Yes.
I'm gonna do.
Mhm.
Yeah, C. The answer is C. C. C.
Yeah, do you think it's C? Let's see. We had 132 equals 550 times 0.12 times time. So 500 times 0.12 is 66, right? Because 550 times 100, 0.12 is 12 over 100. And if you calculate this, this becomes 66. So 132 equals 66 times time. And to find time, you divide 132 divided by 66, which equals 2, right? So it's going to be 2 total of years until the simple interest on this amount of money, 550 Ghana cedis, at 12% after 2 years will be 132 Ghana cedis. So this person, after 2 years, will have a total amount of money at 682 Ghana cedis. Because this person originally had 550. He or she earned 132 amount of interest after 2 years. So the total he or she has is 682 Ghana cedis. And simple interest is a concept of adding money to the bank, for example. If you add money to the bank, then they will give you a simple interest at a certain rate. So this bank had a rate of 12% per year. And this is actually really, really huge because today, the only interest is 0.1% or 0.01%. And depending on the type of bank that you have, but it's around 3% average for today's banks. But the point is that if you invest a certain amount of money in the bank, then they give you money in return. And we get 12% of the money that we put in every year. So that's why in 2 years, the bank will give you 132 Ghana cedis. And you can, yeah, find that interest by this formula. Yeah. Does everyone understand this concept? Do you have any question?
Yes.
Yeah, if you have
So
if you
big.
understood, yeah, this concept, then we can move on to the next question. Um, okay, so the answer is B. Mhm. So let's factorize this here. 5ay minus by plus 15a minus 3b. Yeah, I think I heard A before. Um,
Yes.
what's it A? Yeah, A is the correct answer. Um, you can solve this in two different ways. You can factorize this, or you can check by multiplying this one out. But I'm going to show you a method where you can factorize this without having to multiply this out. So if we look at 5ay minus by plus 15a minus 3b, then we can take out y from this two terms, right? We can take out y. So this becomes y 5a minus b plus these two terms. What can we factor out from these two terms? We can factor out 3, right? 3. That's the same as 3 times 5a minus b. Yeah. Does this make sense to everyone? We can add
Yes.
these, yeah, two factors together. Then we can see that these two factors are the same. These two are the same. So we can group these together. So we have 5 minus b, 5a minus b times these two numbers here. We're adding them, y plus 3. That's why we get this factorization. This equals this factor. And we can see this matches with a, since we have y plus 3 multiplied by 5a minus b, which is what we have here. That's why the answer is A. I can show you the written explanation here. Yeah. Step 1, you group by the terms, the two terms in front, two terms in the back. Factor out the common part from each group. You can factor out y from the front, factor out 3 from these two. Step 3, factor out the common brackets. In our case, the common bracket was 5a minus b. can take that out. And then we multiply by y plus 3 because those were the multiplication from the factors. And these 3 steps are the ways that we can factorize this here. Okay, does everyone understand this concept? And do you have
Yes.
any questions? Yeah, if you understand it, that's great. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, okay. I have one more example of this at the right bottom here. Um, just solving through this one. If we have a different variable, like 6ax minus 3x plus 4a minus 2, if you're asked to factorize this, we can group the first terms, step 1, and then we factor out 3x from the front term. We factor out 2 from the second 2 terms. Then we see that the common factor in brackets now are 2a minus 1. 2a minus 1. So we group them together back again. 2a minus 1 times these two terms, 3x plus 2. Yeah, that's how you would factorize these kinds of equations. Okay. Let's move on to the next question if everyone is clear. And always feel free to stop and ask me questions. Okay. Let's look at problem 39. Describe the set of m equals 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, and 19 in words.
Hey.
Um, do you think it's A? Odd numbers less than 20? Um, let's see. Are these all the odd numbers less than 20? Let's see. The correct answer is C here, because if you look at A, the odd numbers less than 20 are, well, you can stretch to negatives as well. So things like -7, -5, all the way to 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17, and 19. So we're seeing that we're missing 1, of course. 1 is an odd number, and set M doesn't have it. 2 is an even number, right? 2 is not an odd number. And we're also missing terms like 9 and 15, so it's not going to be A. It's not B either because factors of 19 are only 1 and 19 because 19 is a prime number. The answer choice that was correct was C, prime numbers less than 20, because prime numbers have only 2 factors, like we've said, 1 and itself. So prime numbers less than 20 are these numbers, which is the set M. It's not answer choice D because whole numbers less than 20 are 0 plus the natural numbers. So it should include all numbers from 0. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all the way to 20, which is not the set M. So yeah, that's why the answer was C. It's just the prime numbers that are less than 20. And yeah, let's move on to the next question. Yeah, multiply 8s minus 7 by 8s plus 7.
Yeah, hello, David.
Yes, hello?
Okay. I think our light is off, but our laptop is on and the internet too is stable. So I don't know. We'll try and come closer to the laptop so that we can hear from you. Okay.
Okay, yeah, I can wait until you join maybe from laptop or can you hear me better?
David, the answer is B. B.
Yeah, did you say B? And yeah, if you said B, that's correct. Yeah, yeah. Great job.
Welcome.
Yeah, the answer is B because we're finding we can see that these two terms are A plus B multiplied by A minus B, which is A squared minus B squared. So in this case, we had 8S as A and 7 as B. So we have 8S squared minus 7 squared, which is 64S squared minus 49. And that answer is B right here. And you might wonder why we are getting A squared minus B squared by multiplying these two out. Well, I've shown a brief explanation here, the second column. So A plus B times A minus B, if you completely multiply it out, we get A squared minus AB plus AB minus B squared. Because you're multiplying this one first, and then this one second, multiplying this one, and this one, right? But the middle terms, AB, cancel because it's subtracting and adding. So we get A squared minus B squared. That's how you solve this problem. And it's okay if you multiply this one out. You just have to remember the middle terms cancel. Okay. Does everyone understand how to solve this problem? Uh, yes, okay. Then we can move on to the next question. Okay. Oh, another
Yes.
example. Yeah, I've had another example here, which is 101 times 99. You can solve this with this method, A squared minus B squared, because 101 is 100 plus 1. 99 is 100 minus 1. So here, A is equal to 100 and B is equal to 1. So we use the formula a plus b times a minus b equals a squared minus b squared. 100 squared minus 1 squared, which is 10,000 minus 1, which is 9,999. That is just an example where you can apply this concept. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Okay, this was a theory question from the 2025 exam. So, given that the set P is the multiple of 3 and set Q is the positive even numbers, they're both subsets of this set mu, which is all the value of x from 1 to 20. Or x is the counting number. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all the way to 20. Also known as the natural numbers. So can you find the list of elements that are in P intersection Q? So let's start by writing out the set P and Q first, because that will be better. If it helps out, I've written down the set P and Q. Yeah, so I can explain this one too. So set P is the multiple of 3 that are within 1 to 20. So multiples of 3 include 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and 18. Right? Those are multiples of 3. And set Q is the positive even numbers. So positive even numbers include 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, and 20. Yeah, that's the set Q. This is the set P. What are the points of intersection between these two sets?
Hello, JB.
Yes, can you hear me?
Hello. Yeah, I can hear you. I think the because of the light out, we don't have
Oh,
lights currently. So we are not able to use the Bluetooth, the speaker, and then the projector. So I think there
oh,
is kind of struggling. We are not hearing what you are saying very well. Yeah. So I think I don't know if you wrap up so that next week
mm.
you continue, or you can schedule if any other day you finish it, then you take next week on. That's fine.
Okay, yeah, because of the light out and the internet issues,
Yeah.
I will just finish with this question for today. And
Okay.
yeah, we will continue next week when the speaker is back. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah,
All
let's
right.
just finish this question for today.
All right.
Yeah. So, yeah, we're finding the list of elements in P intersection Q, and I have written these two sets here. So, yeah, the points of intersection we can see are 6, 12, and 18. Those are the three numbers. And that's the answer for number one here, A1. You can say that it's a list of 6, 12, and 18. That's the set. Okay, let's, that is the set. Let's look at number two for final for today. List all the subsets in P intersection Q. So it says list all possible subsets. So how many subsets can we get out of this one? So we can get all these types of subsets in P intersection Q. We can have a subset of nothing inside it. That's still a set, just a set of nothing. We can have a set of just a single value, like 6, 12, and 18. We can have a set of two numbers inside, so 6, 12, or 6, comma 15, 18, or 12, comma 18. Or another subset is all three numbers included, 6, 12, and 18. So when we're finding the subset, we're finding the set that is within the total set. And all of these sets are possible. Okay. I think I would have to end our lesson early today with this question. Uh, yeah. So yeah, does everyone have any questions? Before we end today.
I think the power is back now. So give me some seconds and let me fix up the thing so that you can continue. Okay. So that you finish this section.
Oh, is the power back now? Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Right. All right.
Yeah.
So give me some seconds. Let me fix up.
Okay. Yeah, I can wait a few seconds. Mhm.
All right. Okay.
Yes. Is it fixed now? Or-
Sure, it's connected now. Hello.
Yes, hello? Mm.
Yeah, it's connected now. You can
Oh,
continue.
okay. Yeah, if it's connected now, then I can continue for,
Yeah, yeah. Keep it in your phone, actually.
yeah, we can do a few more questions for today. So, so let's continue with this problem, problem B. So if 1 over y equals 3k minus 2 over x, can you make y the subject of the relation? So we want to have an equation y equals something. Y equals, yeah. So we have to change this into this form. So yeah, let's look at how we can combine this right-hand term here. Yeah, just shown over here. So generally, when we have a minus c over b, we can multiply a by b over b. Then this becomes ab over b. And because now they have the same denominator, we can subtract. So it'll be ab minus c over b. That's what we did here. 3k minus 2 over x equals 3k times x over x minus 2 over x. Then we get 3kx minus 2 over x. Now we have this form here. 1 over y equals 3kx minus 2 over x. And we can find y by flipping both sides. So here I've written down if 1 over y is a over b, y over 1 is b over a. So what happens if we flip this? Y equals x over 3kx minus 2. Yep. So this is the answer for number 1. Does everyone understand how to find y in this equation?
Saving forever again.
Yeah, I can explain again. Yeah. So so the major concept here that you need to learn is these two, the yellow box and the green box. So this part here, we applied the green box. So this is where we applied the green part. And this is where we applied the yellow part. So for the green part, we have A minus C over B. This equals multiplying A by B over B and then subtracting by C over B. Because by multiplying A by B over B equals 1, right? So it doesn't make a difference multiplying that. Yeah. Because we need to match the denominators as both B. So in our case, the denominator was X. You can see it's X. So we need to match the denominator X. So 3K times X over X. That's what we did here. X over X. Minus 2 over X. Now we can subtract because they have the same denominator. Yeah. So 3K minus 2 over X becomes 3KX minus 2 all over X. But the left-hand side was still 1 over Y. We need to find what Y is, not 1 over Y. And we can do that by flipping both sides of the equation. So Y over 1 is flipping this right-hand side, X over 3KX minus 2. So we did this because we needed to match the denominators for the green part. That's why we have to multiply by B over B times A. And we're changing the structure. Yeah, does this make sense to everyone? Okay. Yeah, we're matching the denominator so that we can subtract. Yeah. We need to match the denominators to subtract. And then we're flipping it finally to find Y. Okay. I hope this is clear to everyone. And the second question asks, using the result in 1, which we found here, find the value of Y when X equals negative 1 and K equals 2. So we can just plug in the values. X equals negative 1 and K equals 2. And this equals negative 1 over 3 times K, which is 2, times negative 1, that minus 2. Then we get negative 1 over negative 8, which is just 1 over 8. Yeah, does everyone understand how to solve this problem?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, always feel free to ask me any questions if you have. But I will move on to the next question for now.
Okay.
Okay. So we will finish with this and the next slide for today. So number 2A, we're told to evaluate 4,000 times 0.35 over 0.05 and leave this answer in the standard form. Yeah, it's the same whether you multiply the same number by denominator and the numerator, or divide the same number by both the numerator and the denominator. It's the same. So A over B is equal to all of these. So this is the basic concept, and we can apply it here. It's difficult to multiply by a decimal and divide by a decimal. So we can make this simpler by multiplying 100 on both the numerator and the denominator by 100. Then this becomes 0.35 times 100, which is 35. 0.05 times 100, which is 5. So we are left with 4,000 times 35 over 5. And this equals, well, 35 divided by 5 equals 7. So 4,000 times 7 is 28,000. That's how you would solve an answer in the standard form, where no decimal was involved. Okay, so I hope everyone understands this concept of multiplying and dividing the numerator and the denominator, and that would be the same number as it was before. Okay,
Yes.
yeah, then let's solve question 2B. So Mr. Boake gets 10% commission on type P house he sells and 15% on type Q house. He sells 3 type P houses at 700,000 Ghana cedis each, and 4 type Q house at 1.4 million Ghana cedis each. That's the price of each individual type of house. Then how much? Calculate the total commissions he makes. Yeah, so what we have to do here is finding 10% of P, which is 700,000. 10% is
Seven one by
equal
one by one.
to 0.1. Yeah, right. So we multiply 700,000 multiplied by 0.1. That's the amount of commission of P house. That is, you just cross out 1 0. So cross out 1 0, multiplying by 0.1. And the commission that Mr. Boake gets from house P is 70,000 Ghana cedis. Okay. The 10% of commission on P that we've solved was 0.1 times 700,000, which is 70,000. Next, if we find the commission on Q house was 15% of 1.4 million Ghana cedis. So 15% equals 0.15. So 0.15 times 1.4 million here is 210,000. So another way to solve this, you can solve this from the fractions. This might be a little bit easier to visualize because you can cross out 100 and then cross out 2 zeros from 1.4 million. Yeah. So you can get 14,000 times 15 equals 210,000. Now that we have individual commissions on both type P house and type Q house, we can find the total commission as he sells 3 P houses and 4 Q houses. So now we simply multiply 3 times 70,000, 4 times 210,000, and then we get 210,000 plus 840,000. And Mr. Boake gets a total of 1,050,000 Ghana cedis. Yeah, do you have any questions about the steps I used to solve this question? Yes, this was another percentage question. You have to find the percent of commission on each house that we've done here. And then it's important to convert the percentage to decimals because that's easier to multiply. And then finally, we find the total commission by calculating 3 times the commission for P house and 4 times commission of Q house, because that's what was stated in the question. Okay. So for the last slide for today, let's look at this last concept. So these two concepts are what we've discussed in the previous question. And yeah, if we have a fraction of A over B, you can write this the same as A times C over B times C, or A divided by D over B divided by D. All of these are equal to each other. Because in a fraction, if we multiply or divide both the numerator and the denominator by the same number, the value of the fraction does not change. So for example, if we have 5 over 25, if we multiply 4, on both the numerator and the denominator, then we get 20 over 100. That's the same value as 5 over 25. And it's the same also if you divide 5 on both the numerator and the denominator. And we have more examples like 0.05 over 0.1. And how do we solve this? We can multiply 100 on both the numerator and the denominator. And that will be 5 over 10. That's the same fraction as 0.05 over 0.1. And one last concept for today. In an equation, adding, subtracting, multiplying, or dividing both sides by the same number does not change the equality. So if we have A equals B, that's the same as A plus K equals B plus K. So same by adding, the same by subtracting by K, same by multiplying by K. So KA equals KB. That's the same equality as A equals B. Similarly, for A divided by K equals B divided by K, that's the same equality as A equals B. So let's look at this last example. So if we ask to find what is the value of X here, so to find X, we add 2 on both sides. So we add 2 plus 2 on both sides. Then we get 0.01x equals 9. Because we added 2 to both sides. And then what we can do is we can multiply 100 on both sides. Because 100 times 0.01x is just equal to x. But since we multiplied the left side by 100, we have to multiply the right side by 100. That would make the equality equal. So 9 times 100 is 900. So that's why if you solve this equation, 0.01x minus 2 equals 7, we get x equals 900. Okay, yeah. Did everyone understand these two concepts? Because these are very important in general
David,
solving algebraic questions.
you don't understand it very well.
Oh, yeah, do you understand it very well? Okay. Then, yeah, this was the last concept that I wanted to review today. So we'll continue with the rest of the problems next class. Yeah, do you have any questions for me today before we end?
Which one? Yeah, Jamie, please, they want you to go over the one you just did. Your
You mean
last two
this one or
slides. Guys, it's this one. Okay.
okay, yeah. I can give you some maybe time to write it down. So
So please, you don't understand it so wherever. Again.
yeah, which part do you want me to go over? Yeah.
Even the fraction part.
Oh, the fraction part, this top part.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I think the bottom part is pretty clear for everyone. That's good. But the fraction part, so if you multiply this top term is called the numerator. So, and then the bottom part is called the denominator, you know. And if we multiply this b, the denominator, by the same number as a from a, the numerator, in this case, it was c. We multiplied c on both a and b, right? And if we multiply, the fraction will still be equal numbers. So a over b will be equal to whatever the number, a times c over b times c. It doesn't matter what the number c is. And the reason behind this is, yeah, we're multiplying by c over c. What is c over c? It's 1, right? It's just 1.
Yeah.
If you multiply a number by 1, it's the same number, right?
Okay.
That's what we did with a over b here. A over b, if you multiply by c over c, or if you divide by the same number, d over d, then it's still going to be a over b, but written in a different form and in a different number. So that's why I had this example here. 5 over 25, if you multiply by 4 over 4, this becomes 20 over 100. But that fraction is the same as 2 over 5 over 25. It's also the same by dividing by 5 over 5 from 5 over 25. Yeah, so what we did here was divide 5 both on the numerator and the denominator. Yeah, so I hope everyone understands. So let me close off. Yeah, I can wait. Yeah. Mhm.
Wait, want to forbid.
Okay, yeah. So let me just read this last example. So just looking at this one. So if we are told to find 0.05 over 0.1, we can multiply 100 on both the numerator and the denominator. And we get 5 over 10. We can divide 5 on both the numerator and denominator too to get 1 over 2 as well. So can you solve this question here? So write down and solve for 0.6 over 0.03. What would you do here? So what would you do first?
Yeah, we are done.
Yeah, so I want you to solve for this one. 0.6 over 0.03.
See, I saw the sister and I saw Joey. Let me just solve it now.
So For this
Maybe
question, yeah,
300.
yeah, did you solve this one? Did you get the answer?
Yeah. Yeah, we saw it.
Oh, okay, yeah. So here we would multiply by 100 over 100 first, right? And what is this? This is 60 over 3, right? And what is 60 over 3? We get 20, right?
Oh, but when you're 20. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So for this last part, you can also apply our knowledge here. So we can divide 3 on both sides. So divide by 3, divide by 3, which equals 20 over 1, which is 20. And that's how you would solve 0.6 over 0.03.
So I said,
Yeah, if you understand, then that's great. Um, does everyone have any other questions for today?
Okay,
Yeah. So,
David.
mhm.
So you're done for today, right? Right? Okay, all right.
Yeah. So,
So,
mhm.
all right, all
Yeah.
right. So we see you next week when God
Yes. Right.
wills, right? Okay,
Next week we'll be continuing these problems. I think we have um
okay.
around
I will
10
drop off.
questions
Bye
left.
bye.
Yeah. All right. So we'll finish these problems and yeah, I'll see everyone next week then.
Okay, all right.
Okay. Bye everyone. Bye everyone.